up, YouTube? We got a yo-yo review to do today. This is the long-awaited, much-requested review of the ND Ultra by YoyoFactory. So, the ND Ultra is the signature model of Mr. Nate the Great himself, Nate Daly, and it has gone through a ton of different iterations, and I know they prototyped this thing for a long time. There was the N10 or D10 or whatever that came out in a mystery box sometime in 2016. That was set to sort of be Nate's signature, but they went back to the drawing board, ended up with a new entry into the Ultra series, and this is it. This is the ND Ultra. Before we start comparing it and talking about it, let's get into the specs. The diameter is 56.65 millimeters. The width is 45.7 millimeters. 4.5 millimeter gap width with about a 63.5 gram weight, which is super light. Standard YoyoFactory center track bearing, 19 millimeter YoyoFactory slim pads, designed in the USA, made in China, as all YoyoFactories are. So, gotta say, really liking this. I liked everything that's come out of the Ultra series thus far. I think this is my favorite of the Ultra series. It's really, really cool. It's nice and wide. It's nice and light. And it plays the way you would expect a competition yo-yo designed for a top-tier player and designed by a top-tier player to play. Just to give it some comparisons, here it is next to the Manatee. As you can see, a little bit wider in the diameter than the Manatee. And the Manatee is only about a millimeter wider, maybe. Same thing here. It is next to the Shutter wide angle. As you can see, very similar diameters. I think this diameter is just a hair bigger than the Shutter wide angle. And the Shutter wide angle still probably about 2 millimeters bigger as far as that is concerned. But you're going to notice that the shape is very familiar. It's not quite as bubbly as the Shutter, but it's got a sort of similar profile, I would say. No real rounded, nothing, no step or anything. It just kind of slims up, and then there's the bearing seat. So there's no step, nothing like that. It's very like HV hybrid type of deal. Nothing really very organic about it. It is rounded off on all of the edges, though, so that it is not sharp. This is not mine. This is on loan to me by my good friends over at SW Randall Toys. So make sure you check out the links in the description. Check out SW Randall Toys, because if you want to buy one, they have them in stock, and they will ship it to you for free. These run about $70, I believe, $69.99. So definitely going to want to check these out. Like I said, they do have them at SW Randall, but they're also available at all other YoyoFactory retailers. YoyoFactories are pretty easy to get a hold of, oddly enough. They're a huge yo-yo company. It's easy to get a hold of their yo-yos. Who'da thunk, right? Anyway, so this is the ND Ultra. I gotta say, I really love this thing. Super good. Great blast finish. It's great for grinds. I like that it's not designed for finger spins, but this cup does monster finger spins. Really good finger spins. And it's wide. It's stable. It plays like a competition yo-yo, but it's still like, it's really fun to play as well. I really like 7068 aluminum. I think that you can kind of almost get bimetal type performance out of it while still managing to get a nice blast finish overall. I really think that it's just, it's great, and I'm really happy that YoyoFactory uses it, and a lot of other people use it. I know SF has been using some 7068 in some of their yo-yos lately, which I am a huge, huge fan of, because I think it really expands your options of what you're able to do with a mono-metal yo-yo. So that's probably enough of me talking about it. Let's go throw it around a little bit, and I'll show you guys what this thing can do. Alright guys, we are back with the ND Ultra by YoyoFactory. So, first thing you're going to notice is this feels super premium. That's not to say that lots of YoyoFactory yo-yos don't feel super premium, but this feels super premium. Grinds are beautiful. grind finish is great. I love the blast finish YoyoFactory has on this. Very nice and smooth. It's not like overly blasted and shiny. It's very sort of reminiscent of like the blast finish SF would use. Like that type of bead blasted finish. It's a really, really nice finish. Really great for all your grind tricks. And blasted all around. It looks really clean too. I like that a lot. The engravings are just here on the side. Very clean, don't get in your way at all. It's a good look. It's a good look overall. I like it very, very much. It's definitely on the wide side, but it's incredibly stable. Oh, did I get a knot? And very much what you would expect out of a competition style throw. Oh, look at that. The bind's nice. We'll look at what color pads these are, but I haven't had any trouble with these pads at all, really. Bind's real nice. The width is good. It's not overly wide, but it's like just into the wide side of things. So it's a little wide, makes it easier to hit, but at the same time, like, it is wide. It does have a lot of rim weight, too. I think what Brandon Vu mentioned about it is that it's kind of tilty. I think that has to do with how wide it is, but with how big the rim, like how big the diameter is and how much rim weight there is. So you can knock it like tilty a little bit, but it doesn't like knock it off and like mess up your trick, but like it's going to make it a little bit harder to, you're going to have to adjust basically if you knock it off playing a little bit. But it's got enough spin, enough rim weight, and everything that doesn't really matter. It's nice and light too at 63 grams. Feels nice and light, plays nice and quick. No qualms there. I think that's absolutely one of its strengths is how light it is, but it's not like so light that it wants to play faster than you want it to play. It's very controllable, but at the same time very light and nimble as well. So really a very well-designed competition yo-yo from YoyoFactory. Not that you should be surprised, because YoyoFactory designs nice competition yo-yos because they got some really good players. So as far as finger spins are concerned, super easy to hit. Get nice long finger spins out of it. It's a good yo-yo for that. No problems there. Very nice. That little, your finger kind of rides around the little nipple there and it just goes. And it's got enough power and rim weight that it just gives you great finger spins. Already showed you the grinds were great. And, I mean, this thing's dead smooth. Butter smooth. I mean, no vibe whatsoever. Dead smooth. You're not really going to be able to do thumb grinds. The lip sort of just, there isn't one. But Nate doesn't do them. He clearly didn't need it. It's his yo-yo. So, that's not a con or anything. It's just a, something to look out for. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, man? Very satisfying. It's got a lot of rim weight. And bind's nice too. Just a very satisfying, very fun yo-yo to play. Doesn't feel stiff or anything like that. But let's go ahead, throw it back on the desk, take it apart, show you guys what the insides are, and then we'll do pros and cons. All right, guys, we are back on the desk with the ND Ultra. Let's take this bad boy apart, show you guys the guts. Comes apart pretty nice. It's like tight at the end, but pretty long axle, so no fear of stripping. Here it is apart. Has the, I guess those are like pink or brownish YoyoFactory pads. Those pads are great. These pads work really well. I'm not sure if these are Nate's preferred color pads or what, but these pads are great. No issues there whatsoever. Standard YoyoFactory center track bearing. Spins quiet, spins good. No problems. Nice bearing. Center tracks are great, man. They're just, I don't know. I never have any problems with center tracks. They just show up and they do their job And that's that. Goes back together. It's a little tight at the end, but long axle, no fear of stripping or anything like that. It is nice. So let's do pros and cons. So pros, grind finish is amazing. Best grind finish YoyoFactory has, they put on the Ultra Series. All of the Ultra Series have sort of this blasted finish. They all feel sort of like this. Every one of them, I've raved about the finish, and this one's no exception. Very much a familiar feeling, competition yo-yo, but it's not a bimetal, but nice and light, 63 grams. Decently powerful, very nimble on the string, quick. I mean, finger spins well despite not having any, like, not a finger spin designed yo-yo, but there's plenty of room to get your finger spin tricks in. Finger spins actually really well because it's really stable. As far as cons are concerned, I mean, it can be a little tilty because it's on the wide side and it's got a pretty big diameter. It can tilt a little bit and then you have to adjust slightly. But I don't really find that to be a problem for me at all, and it doesn't seem like Nate finds it to be a problem either. So, you know, it's a thing that can happen with wider yo-yos, but I don't think it's that bad on this yo-yo. I think this yo-yo is pretty good. It's very smooth, feels very premium. Not to say that a lot of yo-yo factories don't feel premium or anything, but this feels like a step up from the rest of YoyoFactory's lineup, in my opinion. I feel like they really do try to keep the quality notched up once you hit those $70 throws, or, you know, the bimetals and the more expensive bimetals, not the $75 ones so much, but like the $80 or $100 bimetals, like the Edge and those. I feel like they really try to keep the quality level high on those yo-yos, and this is no exception. There's definitely a stepped up bar on the Ultra Series, and the ND Ultra is probably my favorite of the Ultra Series. Only other real con, I guess, is at the $70 price point, just because I know how YoyoFactory does sales, it does make it a difficult choice to pay full price for one, because I am concerned that they will blow them out at like $35 shortly after I do that. That's just a concern of mine. Now, if they did that, I would jump on this immediately, because this is an awesome yo-yo for $35 or $40 if they, like, blow them out or something. But at $70, the way YoyoFactory tends to move stock, it scares me to pay that kind of cash for one. This is just me speaking honestly about it. I absolutely think it stacks up to every $70 yo-yo that would be in its price range, maybe even a little bit better than a good many of them. But that's sort of my opinion. And that tends to be my concern with a lot of YoyoFactory yo-yos, is that once you pay full price for them, shortly down the line they get discounted, and then, you know, that bothers me. I don't know about how it bothers anybody else, but I've talked about that before. But that hasn't happened yet, and this has been out for a while. So definitely an awesome yo-yo. You're definitely going to want to try one of these out, because the ND Ultra is really YoyoFactory stepping up its game, and this is the best of the Ultra Series, and this is probably, in my opinion, the best monometal YoyoFactory has out right now. Had the chance to play with it most of the week because I borrowed it from SW Randall. Probably the best monometal that YoyoFactory has out right now, without a shadow of a doubt. But that is going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. I do yo-yo videos every single day. It's just the way it works around here. Every day. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers to you. I will see you next time, which is tomorrow. Peace.